Hello and welcome to Success Formulas.
11 Ways to Deal with Toxic People. Everyone encounters toxic people throughout their lives. A toxic person can be anyone from your coworker, closest friend, or your family member. That is why you need to learn how to deal with them properly. Here are 11 tips on how to deal with toxic people. Number 1. Limit the time you spend around them. One of the basic and more important pieces of advice when it comes to dealing with toxic people is to limit the time you spend with them. It would be ideal if you could avoid them entirely, but sometimes that is not possible. A toxic person could be your coworker whom you see every day or a family member. You cannot cut those people out of your lives completely, but you can spend less time around them. That would be great for you. You will limit their negative influence on your life and start feeling a lot better. Number 2. Be aware of their destructive traits and patterns. Another useful thing you can do is observe toxic people so you could figure out what their particular toxic traits are. Maybe they spread malicious gossip, or they use their sad life story to guilt you into doing them favors. Once you understand their behavioral patterns, it will become a lot easier to deal with them. You will understand what they are trying to achieve and you'll know what to expect. If you understand a toxic person's intentions and reasons, it will be harder for them to get to you. You will easily see through them. Number 3. Don't expect them to change. A very bad thing you probably do is expect toxic people to change. That sets you up for disappointment from the beginning. People can indeed change, but they have to be willing to put in the work to do so. And toxic people are rarely willing to do that. The more likely scenario is that they will always try to take advantage of you, no matter how good you are trying to be to them. Don't waste your time and energy expecting them to change, or even worse, convincing them to change. Number 4. Learn to say no. Decent people often have trouble with setting boundaries and saying no when people are being hurtful and crossing the line. But that is exactly what toxic people are counting on. They want to push you around, and that is exactly why you need to learn to say no without feeling guilty. No is a great and powerful word. It protects you against all the things you are not comfortable with. When you set boundaries and say no, you're making it clear to toxic people that you are not okay with the way they treat you, and you shouldn't feel guilty for taking care of yourself. Number 5. Ignore their attention-seeking behaviors. One of the prominent traits of toxic people is that they are always craving attention. They seek validation from other people, and they are prepared to do almost anything to be the center of attention. They will create dramatic situations or speak loudly, and you will have a hard time interrupting them when they start talking. Everything has to be about them. But if you want to deal with them successfully, you should ignore these pleas for attention. If you don't, you won't hear the end of it. They will suffocate you with their endless stories because they know if you listened once, you may be willing to listen to them again. Number 6. Don't share your secrets with them. Toxic people often engage in gossiping, oversharing personal details, or using personal information to provoke reactions. This is why you should never share any personal things or secrets with them. Keep your conversations with toxic people superficial. Otherwise, you are very likely to get hurt. A toxic person will use anything they know about you to manipulate you whenever they want. You can protect yourself by simply being cautious about the things you share with them. Number 7. Demand straight answers to your questions. Toxic people are masters of vague answers and useless conversations. They know exactly how to talk without revealing anything that actually matters. While they're dying to know everything important about you, they're reluctant to talk about things that are important to them. They are aware that makes them vulnerable, and they don't like that. The trick you can use is to ask them closed questions. A question with a yes or no answer will force them to make their intentions clear and prevent them from manipulating you or other people. Before we continue the video, we'd like to thank all of our subscribers. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Your support helps us keep making more helpful and interesting content. Now let's get back to the video. Number 8. Don't be fooled by their false kindness. Toxic people can be very kind and pleasant on the outside. They may greet you with joy, albeit a little exaggerated. That is how they succeed in their intentions. They are almost never openly malicious. Their toxicity is hidden behind a facade of kindness and care. This is how they trick you in the beginning. But If you know what signs to look for, it won't take long until you manage to see their true nature. So, don't let them fool you with their fake kindness. That is how they lure you into their web. Number 9. Seek support from caring people. While dealing with toxic people, another good and healthy thing you can do for yourself is to seek support from genuinely nice and caring people. They will help you protect yourself from the harm toxic people can cause. Honest friends don't let you forget what it feels like to be loved and cared for. True friendship is one of the rarest and most valuable commodities you can have in life. Don't let toxic and untrustworthy people ruin that for you. Number 10. Don't try to please them. One mistake people often make when dealing with toxic people is that they try to please them. Many people who manage to be friends with toxic people have a people-pleaser personality. They want to be liked and want to feel like they're supporting others. Toxic people are well aware of this fact, and they have no trouble taking advantage of it. The problem is you will go to extraordinary lengths to please a toxic person, but you will never succeed, and you should stop trying. You are not solely responsible for other people's feelings and happiness. Number 11. Don't explain yourself. As well as there is no need to feel guilty, you also don't need to explain yourself to anyone, especially not to toxic people that make a habit of poking their nose into other people's lives. They go as far as to ask you very personal things, so you feel the need to explain your relationship status, living arrangements, etc. Resist that need. Nobody has the right to ask you why you're living alone, or why you're in your 40s and don't have any children. There are some things you should not explain even to your loved ones, let alone to toxic people. Do you have any other tips on how to deal with toxic people? Let us know in the comments section. We love reading your comments. Before you leave, our team will be very happy if you can give this video a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can be notified every time we upload a new video. Thank you for watching, and see you in our next video.